Imagine a world without cars, buses, or trains. A world where every journey depends only on your own 2 feet. Today, we cross cities in minutes, but for thousands of years, distance was one of humanity's biggest challenges. Horses gave people speed, but they were expensive, needed food, space, and constant care. For ordinary people, owning a horse was almost impossible. Humans needed a new solution, a machine that could move faster than walking without depending on animals or fuel. Many inventors tried to solve this problem, but their designs were either too heavy, too complicated, or too expensive. Then, an unexpected disaster changed everything. In 1815, Mount Tambora in Indonesia erupted with enormous force, changing the world's climate. The following year became known as the Year Without a Summer. Crops failed, food became expensive, and horses became harder to maintain. The world needed a new way to move. And in Germany, Karl Drais began building a strange wooden machine with 2 wheels. His invention would become the first step toward the bicycle, a machine that would transform human transportation forever. In 1817, when Karl Drais introduced his strange wooden machine, most people did not see it as the future of transportation. To them, it looked like a horse carriage that had lost its horse. The machine had 2 wheels, a wooden frame, a seat, and handlebars for steering. But there was one major difference from today's bicycle. It had no pedals. Riders had to push against the ground with their feet to move forward, almost like running while sitting. Drais called it the Laufmaschine, meaning running machine. Despite its simple design, it solved a major problem. For the first time, humans had a personal vehicle that could travel faster than walking, using only their own energy. During his famous 1817 demonstration, Drais traveled nearly 13 kilometers in less than an hour. But the invention was not immediately accepted. Many people mocked it, calling it useless or a wooden horse without legs. Rough roads made it difficult to ride, but Drais had already proven something important. Humans could balance on 2 wheels and move faster than walking. Soon, inventors across Europe began improving his idea, searching for the next breakthrough that would finally create the bicycle we know today. After Karl Drais proved that humans could balance and travel on 2 wheels, inventors across Europe began improving his strange wooden machine. But one major problem remained. Riders still had to push against the ground with their feet. It worked, but it was not practical for longer journeys. The world needed a machine that could transform human effort into continuous movement. In the 1860s, French inventor Pierre Michaud and his son Ernest created the next big breakthrough by adding pedals and cranks to the front wheel. This invention, called the velocipede, allowed riders to move by turning pedals instead of pushing their feet on the ground. But the design had serious problems. The frame was heavy, the wheels were solid, and 19th century roads were rough and uneven. Every bump sent painful shocks through the rider's body. Because of this uncomfortable ride, people gave it a famous nickname, the Bone Shaker. Despite its flaws, the velocipede became a symbol of modern innovation. Bicycle schools opened, races were organized, and more people became interested in this new machine. The bicycle was no longer just an experiment. It was becoming a real form of transportation. But inventors still had one challenge left, making it faster, smoother, and safer for everyone. By the 1870s, inventors had solved one major problem of the bicycle: movement. But another challenge remained: speed. Since the pedals were connected directly to the front wheel, riders could only travel as far as each pedal rotation allowed. Inventors discovered a simple solution: make the front wheel larger. A bigger wheel meant more distance with every turn. This idea created one of the most famous bicycles in history, the penny farthing. Named after 2 coins because of its large front wheel and tiny rear wheel, the penny farthing became popular during the 1870s. Its giant front wheel could be over 5 feet tall, allowing riders to reach speeds that once seemed impossible without a horse. But this speed came with a dangerous price. The rider sat high above the ground, directly over the front wheel. If the wheel hit a stone or hole, the bicycle could suddenly stop while the rider flew forward. These crashes became known as taking a header. Despite its risks, the penny farthing became a global sensation. Bicycle clubs appeared, races attracted crowds, and riding became a symbol of modern life. But inventors knew this machine was not practical for everyone. The bicycle needed to become safer, easier, and more comfortable, leading to the invention of the modern bicycle. By the 1880s, the bicycle had become famous, but one major problem remained. The penny farthing was fast, yet it was dangerous and difficult for ordinary people to use. Sitting high above the ground meant one small mistake could cause a serious accident. Inventors realized that speed was not enough. The bicycle needed something more important: safety. In 1885, British inventor John Kemp Starley introduced the Rover safety bicycle, a design that changed cycling forever. Unlike the penny farthing, it had two equal-sized wheels, a lower seat position, and a chain system that transferred power from the pedals to the rear wheel. This simple design made the bicycle safer, smoother, and easier to control. But the final breakthrough came with another invention: pneumatic tires filled with air. These tires absorbed shocks from rough roads and transformed the uncomfortable ride into a much smoother experience. For the first time, bicycles were no longer only for skilled riders or wealthy people. Workers, students, and families could now own them. The bicycle had finally become practical, a simple machine that gave millions of people something new: the freedom to travel wherever they wanted. When the modern bicycle arrived, it did more than change transportation. It changed the way people lived. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, bicycles became one of the most important inventions in everyday life. For the first time, ordinary people had a personal vehicle that was affordable, reliable, and completely controlled by them. Before bicycles became popular, distance limited people's lives. Many could only work, shop, and travel within a small area because transportation was expensive and difficult. The bicycle changed that. Workers could reach better jobs, families could explore new places, and people in villages could easily travel to nearby towns. But the bicycle created another unexpected revolution. It gave women more freedom. During the 1890s, bicycles became a symbol of independence, allowing women to travel without depending on others. It even influenced clothing styles as women adopted more practical outfits for riding. The bicycle also transformed engineering. Stronger metals, better tires, and improved manufacturing methods were developed, helping inspire future inventions. Many automobile engineers first learned their skills by building bicycles. By the early 1900s, the bicycle had become a global invention, changing millions of lives. But another machine was about to rise, one that would borrow ideas from the bicycle and transform the future of transportation forever: the automobile. At the beginning of the 20th century, a new machine started appearing on roads around the world. It was faster, heavier, and powered by an engine. The automobile would eventually dominate transportation, but behind its success was a hidden truth. Many ideas that made cars possible came from the bicycle. Bicycle inventors had already solved important engineering challenges by creating lightweight frames, stronger materials, better wheels, and efficient chain systems. Many future engineers first learned their skills by building bicycles. Even the famous Wright brothers, who changed aviation forever, started with a bicycle shop in Dayton, Ohio. The knowledge they gained from repairing and designing bicycles helped them understand balance, control, and mechanics, ideas that later helped them build the first successful airplane. But the bicycle never disappeared. It remained one of the simplest and most efficient machines ever created. It needed no fuel, created no pollution, and moved using only human energy. Over time, bicycles evolved into racing bikes, mountain bikes, and modern city bicycles. From a strange wooden machine to a global invention used by billions, the bicycle's greatest achievement was not speed. It was freedom, a simple idea that continues to move the world even after 200 years. More than 200 years after Karl Drais created his strange wooden machine, the bicycle remains one of humanity's most successful inventions. It never needed a powerful engine, expensive fuel, or complicated technology. Its secret was simple: converting human energy into movement. But the bicycle's story was never about one person changing the world overnight. It was built through generations of experiments, failures, and improvements. Karl Drais created the first idea. Pierre Michaud added pedals. The penny farthing brought speed. John Kemp Starley created the safe design that made bicycles available to millions. Each inventor solved one problem and opened the door for the next breakthrough. Today, bicycles are everywhere. From busy city streets to mountain trails and professional races, they provide affordable transportation, improve health, and help reduce pollution. But perhaps the most incredible thing about the bicycle is how simple it looks. Just two wheels and a frame, yet behind them is a story of human creativity, patience, and determination. The bicycle began as a dream to travel farther than human feet could carry us. That dream became reality and changed the way people moved forever. Because sometimes the inventions that change the world are not the most complicated ones. They are the simplest ideas created by people who refuse to believe the impossible.